Now, one very useful ability is to have Unity search throughout the scene, looking at all the objects, and to generate a list of all the objects that have a particular component attached. You can see here I have a number of red cubes, and all of these red cubes have the enemy component. So I may, for example, want to search throughout this level and find all the enemy objects and to generate an array in script with all of those objects. To do this, I'm going to use a Game Manager class. This is just an empty script file that I have created. I'm going to double click the Game Manager to open that in MonoDevelop, and you can see here that we have this script file, just completely empty Game Manager. I'm going to minimize MonoDevelop and drag and drop the Game Manager onto the terrain object. It doesn't really matter which object we use, we can drop it onto any object, and now it is a component of the terrain. What I want to do in the Game Manager in the start function as the level begins is to generate a list of all the enemies. So let's create an array that is going to hold all of the enemy objects. I'm going to call that public enemy, and I'm going to call it enemy array, like so. So we're going to build an array of enemies. And in the start function, I can generate the list of all the enemies in the level with one simple statement. All I have to type is enemy array equals object dot find objects of type. Careful with the pluralization here. It's not find object of type, it's singular. We want to find all the enemy objects that are of a particular type. In this case, the enemy class. We want an array of enemy objects. So find objects of type. And then in parentheses, I can write the statement type of enemy, and we have to typecast that as an enemy array and end the line with a semicolon. That statement will generate a list of all enemy objects in the scene. I'm going to press Ctrl S on the keyboard to save that code, minimize MonoDevelop, and then let the code compile. Press play on the toolbar, and when I do this, take a look at the enemy array. It will populate with all the enemies in the level. So I'm going to press play on the toolbar, and straight away you can see element 0 to 5. We have all enemy objects in the level populated into the array from that one statement.